Nothing in the solar system moves freely. Not planets, not asteroids, not even Earth. Everything is being pulled by something, and most of that pull comes from Jupiter. A planet so massive, it doesn't just orbit the Sun, it influences everything around it, quietly changing paths, altering trajectories, deciding what stays and what gets thrown into darkness. And here's the disturbing part. We don't always see it happening, which means one question becomes unavoidable. Is Jupiter just part of the solar system, or is it controlling it? We're told Jupiter is simple, the largest planet in the solar system. A massive ball of gas, covered in clouds, filled with storms. That's it. No surface, no solid ground. Just a giant planet sitting far away, and at first, that seems true. It looks calm, distant, almost irrelevant to life on Earth. But that's the illusion, because Jupiter's size isn't just a detail. It's the reason everything changes. Its mass is more than twice that of all the other planets combined. Let that sink in. One planet outweighing everything else. And that kind of mass doesn't just sit there. It acts, it pulls, it reshapes space around it. And that's where the problem begins. Because something that powerful can't just be a bystander. Jupiter doesn't just have gravity, it dominates with it. Its pull stretches across vast distances, far beyond its visible size, reaching into space, touching objects that seem nowhere near it. At first, that sounds normal. Every planet has gravity. But Jupiter is different. Because its gravity doesn't just hold things in place, it changes their paths. Asteroids drifting through space suddenly curve. Comets moving in straight lines get pulled off course. Even other planets slightly shift over time. And here's the strange part. Most of this happens slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. You wouldn't notice it in a single moment. But over time, everything moves differently because of Jupiter. And this is where it gets unsettling. Because if one planet can reshape motion across the solar system, then nothing is truly moving on its own. Everything is being influenced, guided, by a force we barely notice. Space looks empty, calm, silent, but it isn't. Millions of rocks are moving through the solar system right now. Asteroids, comets, fragments left over from its formation. Most of them drift unnoticed, far from Earth, far from danger. But their paths are not random, because Jupiter is always there. Watching, in a gravitational sense, pulling objects toward it, or pushing them away. Sometimes capturing them completely, other times throwing them out of the solar system entirely, like a cosmic gatekeeper. And at first, that sounds like a good thing. Fewer objects reaching Earth, less danger. But it's not that simple, because not everything gets removed. Some objects get redirected, their paths bent just enough to send them somewhere new. Some toward the inner solar system, some crossing Earth's orbit. And this is where it gets uncomfortable, because the same force that protects us can also expose us. And most of the time, we wouldn't even know it happened. For a long time, scientists believed Jupiter was our protector, a massive shield in space, catching dangerous objects before they could reach Earth. And in many cases, that's true. Jupiter has pulled in countless comets and asteroids. Some of them would have crossed Earth's path. Some of them might have hit us. So it's easy to think we're safe because of it. But that's only half the story. And this is where it changes. Because Jupiter doesn't just remove threats, it rearranges them. Its gravity can grab distant objects, bend their paths, and send them inward. Toward the inner solar system, toward Earth. So some of the objects that come close to us may have been redirected by Jupiter itself. Let that sink in. The same planet that protects Earth might also be the reason certain dangers exist at all, and that creates a disturbing balance, protection and risk, working at the same time. Which means Jupiter isn't just a shield, it's something far more unpredictable. Jupiter isn't just a planet, it behaves like something much bigger, almost like a solar system inside the solar system. Dozens of moons orbit it, some larger than planets, each one caught in its gravitational grip, locked into precise motion. But it doesn't stop there. Jupiter's influence extends far beyond its moons. It shapes entire regions of space. Asteroid belts form patterns because of it. Empty gaps exist because Jupiter cleared them out. Even distant objects adjust their motion over time. And here's the strange part. This happens constantly, not as a one-time event, but as an ongoing process. A system within a system, always active, always reshaping. Jupiter doesn't just orbit the Sun. It shapes what happens around it, quietly, constantly. From the movement of asteroids to the paths of comets to the delicate balance that keeps Earth safe, its influence is always there, unseen, and often unnoticed. But this is where it becomes unsettling, because Jupiter doesn't choose sides. It doesn't protect, it doesn't attack, it simply pulls. And whatever falls under its influence follows. Sometimes that means safety. Other times it means danger. And we don't always know which is which leaves one final thought. Jupiter may not be trying to control anything. But its gravity ensures that nothing in the solar system is truly independent. Everything moves because something is pulling it. And much of that pull comes from Jupiter.